Hi, doctors. I really need some advice. I am a mom of two little girls ages 6 and 8, and ever since the park shut down due to COVID, my house has become their playground. It is like a war zone of dolls and toys all over the floor. The days just seem totally boundaryless. I even built a little home gym downstairs, and now the girls are hanging from the rafters trying to do pull-ups, and it's just out of control. I'm terrified that one of them is going to get hurt. It feels just impossible to oversee everything that is going on while I'm trying to run my small businesses from home and concentrate on my work. What can I do to make sure these girls stay safe while they play at home?
Jessica, millions of parents at home right now can understand your struggle. And to help parents like Jessica avoid at-home injuries, we brought in pediatric orthopedic surgeon Dr. Jonathan Koenig. Welcome, Dr. Koenig.
Thank you very much.
So, a lot of accidents you're seeing during the pandemic are caused by children doing gymnastics, like playing at home. What's happening here?
The gyms are closed, schools are closed, playgrounds, fields are closed, and kids are still trying to find ways to do their tuck jumps and somersaults. And they'll even launch themselves off of some of their household furniture. The problem is there's improper flooring, or they're just not being safe about it. So we've seen a lot of new injuries during this pandemic.
You know, Jonathan, it's so tough with kids at home that are younger. You want them to be active. You want them moving. You don't want them sitting in front of the screen all day long. But at the same time, you want them to do it safely in a controlled environment so they're not getting hurt.
Absolutely. And there are many ways to try and get parents to either supervise their children or make sure they're outside on soft grass if possible. You know, we just got to find new and creative ways. And I think there's been a whole market for it of people trying to stay active during this pandemic.
And Judy?
And Dr. Koenig, thinking about being creative, I see that families are buying things like trampolines to keep their kids entertained, and also a ton of other types of toys. So what do parents need to watch for when they're thinking about these outlets?
I think trampolines are a great idea, and they're plenty of fun, and they can be safe. The problem that I see with trampolines is when kids try to go after what's called the double bounce. And that's when you get multiple people on a trampoline all trying to bounce up and down at the same time. But if they don't time it up just right, one person's landing while the other person is coming up, and that the recoil of that trampoline hits your leg. I can't tell you how many casts I've put on this pandemic just because of the double bounce. So my big advice, if you're going to get a trampoline, please, only one person on the trampoline at a time.
So, Doc, what do you say is the number one cause of indoor and at-home injuries with kids?
What it really often comes down to, I think, is a lack of supervision. With everyone staying home for school, parents are also stuck at home working. That's when kids get creative, and that's when we see some real creative injuries. So my best advice is to try and keep playtime organized or structured as best you can. And supervision if possible.
I know that this is a cautionary tale, and Dr. Koenig, you're giving great advice, but as the country is opening up and more organized sports are coming back, what should parents be aware of for their teens and children?
You shouldn't go 100% right away. All the typical advice that you've heard, warm up, stretch appropriately, get back in shape, that all still applies, and even more so today. You know, we saw a record number of season-ending soft tissue injuries in the NFL and college football this past season, and many would argue that a lot of it was due to the shortened preseason or lack of practices leading up to the season. So because of that, I really do urge all of my athletes, recreation, competitive, everyone, just take it easy, warm up, get back in shape before you go full speed.
All right, Dr. Koenig, my Lenox Hill Hospital colleague. Great tips here, and you're going to get us all ready for getting back outdoors. Thanks so much for joining us today.